ball stretched out to the middle. Back to Green.
Broke it up. There's a shot. They score! They score!
Bernardo Fords. It's in! Rochester has the lead, and the game extends.
We all have different stories, pasts, identities, lives, and that's what defines us. So when something is able to bring everyone together to believe in, it creates a bond that cannot be broken. Together, however different we may be, we have painted the Metro red.
Raise your scarves and welcome your New York Red Bulls!
All of us, the fans, the staff, the players, the fighters, the conductors, the artists, the veterans, and the hungry ones. We all believe in the same team, the same club. And that's what makes this special.
In all these moments, we've always stuck together. We're not looking back now, man.
I am red, cervones, rojo, rouge, coquinos, vermelho, rot. I am red.
We love, we fight with passion for glory.
New York is most certainly red. I don't think anyone can argue that.
We are red together. Make 2017 red. Renew today.
Red Bull Arena here in Harrison, New Jersey on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon for a bit of USL soccer as New York Red Bulls 2 are hosting FC Cincinnati here on NewYorkRedBulls.com, the USL YouTube channel. I'm David Goss. I'll be joining you for this broadcast. It's been an exciting day already here at Red Bull Arena. New York Red Bulls knocking off New England Revolution 1-0. Now New York Red Bulls 2 facing off against the third best team in the USL. FC Cincinnati in their maiden season in the USL, leading the league in average attendance, over 16,000 a game at Nippert Stadium in Cincinnati. And this is just the second time these two teams have faced off so far this season in what we expect to be one of the best matchups of the year. A 2-1 victory for the New York Red Bulls 2 on the road at Nippert Stadium earlier this summer. And these two teams, both with 2 games in hand on Louisville, could be the top 2 teams in the Eastern Conference when all things come to a close at the end of the season. Both these teams coming in phenomenal form. FC Cincinnati head to Harrison, New Jersey at 2-0-3 in their last 5 games, coming off 2 back-to-back 1-1 draws, including a midweek game against the reigning USL champion Rochester Rhinos. They started out this run with a 2-0 road win against Louisville City to end their 17-match unbeaten streak against the local rival. And they've been 2-0-3 since then. For New York Red Bulls 2, since their last loss, they have now gone 5 matches unbeaten once again, 4 straight wins in a row. The first 2, both putting up 5 goals. The last 2 games, 1-0 wins. Last week here against Louisville City, and then midweek heading to Toronto FC2 and getting a 1-0 win through the goal by Junior Flemings, who after being USL Player of the Week has been absolutely on a tear over the last few weeks. Few of the players on the field today for New York Red Bulls 2, so we're on the bench in this last game against the New England Revolution, so doing a little bit of double duty. And as we have for the last 2 matches, there will be a special wrinkle in this game. The video assistant referee, the VAR, will be once again utilized. And for the first time ever, a former VAR will be the head referee, Alan Chapman, who was VAR the last 2 matches. Is going to be the man in the middle for this one here at Red Bull Arena. Many of the fans staying and sticking around to catch the first place team in the USL, New York Red Bulls 2. They lead the league in goal differential, goals scored, road record, and a whole host of other stats that you could put together. It's been a phenomenal season for this team so far, but with the short stretch run left, they could lock up the USL regular season championship, lock up home field advantage throughout the USL postseason, put themselves in the driver's seat to maybe a potential first ever USL title. 2 teams are heading out onto the field now for our anthems. We will return with first half lineups and first half action in just a few moments. two teams are out, and they are ready to begin the first half action here at Red Bull Arena. You see for FC Cincinnati leading them in local boy Austin Berry of Cincinnati. Mitch Hildebrandt, voted the #1 goalkeeper in the league through the first half of the season, assumes his role for his 24th consecutive start. Along that back line, Tyler Pollock, formerly of the New England Revolution, who were here today. Up top, Sean Ugo Okoli, 11 goals so far this season, currently tied for third place in the USL. He'll be provided by Andrew Weidman, former New York Red Bull draft pick Eric Stevenson, Jimmy McLaughlin, Kenny Walker, Corbin Bowen in central midfield, and Paul Nicholson, who has been a utility man throughout for the head coach, John Harkes, returning to his native New Jersey area. New York Red Bulls 2, Ryan Mira got his 9th shutout of the season against TFC 2. Justin Bilyeu just on the bench against New England Revolution will get the start. Aaron Long, Tim Schmoll, and David Najem. The rest of the defense, Speedy Williams and Tyler Adams, the holding midfielders. Derek Etienne Jr., Florian Velo, and Junior Fleming's in the attack, and Brandon Allen up top. On the bench, two young academy players in Noah Powder and Kevin O'Toole, alongside Zach Carroll, Dan Metzger, Vincent Bezecourt, and Stefano Bonomo, who returned last game from his red card suspension. He returned back to the bench for this one. I mentioned before, Alan Chapman, our head official, his assistant referees, Golvani Bori, Joseph Paolini, the fourth official, Kenneth Rojas, and in this match, the VAR, Soren Stoika. So the first ever match that Alan Chapman won't be VAR in, he will be the head man in the middle. John Wolenek leads his team out. Now trying to make themselves runaway winners in the Eastern Conference. John Harkes, coming home, Kearney, New Jersey native, over 100 caps for the U.S. national team. One of the most decorated players in U.S. soccer history, as well as Major League Soccer history. And a one-time assistant coach here for the New York Red Bulls in 2006-2007 under Bruce Arena. And he brings his brand new squad into this one. They've been one of the revelations of the USL season, and they will look to potentially pull back New York Red Bulls 2 and make it a fight for #1 in the Eastern Conference. Not the worst. They are looking to knock Louisville City FC down a little bit and push themselves into second place in the Eastern Conference. We get kicked off here. Okoli returning from his midweek suspension after a yellow card accumulation. He missed out against Rochester. Omar Cummings sliding infield, picking up the start at forward in that game. He fell to an injury early on in that match. Not on the bench for this game. Pat McMahon also dropping out of the lineup. He is on the bench for this match. Derek Luke, Bridgewater, New Jersey native, Monmouth University player, getting the start back home in his local state. Will get pushed out of bounds. 3 goals in their last matchup and a 2-1 win for New York Red Bulls 2, all coming in the second half. New York Red Bull 2 scoring 2 goals in the final 10 minutes to come away with the road win. 9-1-1 on the road this season for New York Red Bulls 2. An unbelievable road record. FC Cincinnati, a great one as well, as this one's whipped in and headed away at the near post. Still in bounds. Got it out in front of Corbin Bone. Etienne will let it on. Allen trying to link back up with him, and it goes out for the corner kick. New York Red Bull 2, just 2 more home games after this for the rest of the season. Bethlehem Steel for their next match on the road as Etienne Jr. whips that one in. Speedy Williams getting the start in place of Dan Metzger for this one. Williams came off the bench to substitute for Metzger against Toronto FC 2 in the last match. Florian Velo, a late pickup. Laying that ball back for Bill U to take. He's been a revelation for this team. Coming on late from Rider University, working on his international certificate to be able to be qualified to play. He's jumped in immediately with goals and assists. FC Cincinnati break. Weideman up on the far side. Okoli now looking to find him. Billiou with the slide tackle is able to toe poke it out over the sideline. Kenny Walker returning from injury. This is an FC Cincinnati team, a very deep roster for a USL squad, allowing them to contend even with injuries. Austin Berry missing time. Kenny Walker and Paul Nicholson have missed minutes throughout the season. Omar Cummings now out with an injury. And they still are able to compete at the highest level. This ball played through towards Etienne Jr. Brandon Allen gets a long first touch. He's not able to control it. And it'll go back to Hildebrandt. Mitch Hildebrandt spending 3 years at Minnesota United, could never get himself a permanent starting role. 5 starts over the course of those 3 years. 2-3-2 record, including cup games. This year, 23 appearances, only 21 goals against, 62 saves. Less than a goal a game for Hildebrandt. Coach Harks had friends telling him throughout the soccer community that Hildebrandt just needed the opportunity, but deserved to be a starter, and he's proven that throughout this season for John Harks. Velo touches inside, finding space. Walker trying to close him down. Florian Velo able to beat him in the open field. He's got some runners in front of him, off to the right to Junior Flemings. Flemings cuts in field, gets the shot away, and it's blocked and cleared. That's some of what we've seen from Florian Velo this season. Great vision and foot skills, running at speed against this defense. The Gem plays the cross in. Billiou will control for New York. A 1-2 between Williams and Adams. And Corbin Bone able to force the turnover. Great work from Bone to turn this play into a quick attack. And Austin Berry will push it out of bounds. Austin Berry, the first ever signing for this team. Returning home at 27 years old. He was a 2-time All-American at Louisville University before coming to Major League Soccer. He was a Rookie of the Year at Chicago Fire in 2012 after going in the first round of that draft. Ended up at Philadelphia Union, and then a bit of a journey over to South Korea where he played on loan for a season before returning to the U.S. and finding his feet again here at FC Cincinnati. Austin Berry right there, drawing the foul. Started out the year phenomenally for this team. Had an injury. Was forced out of the lineup right as Paul Nicholson came back from injury, and Nicholson took over at central center back. More of a natural central midfielder for this team. Berry with the interception. Walker sprays it wide. These two teams still trying to find their feet. A few turnovers either way early on as we watch them settle in a little. Schmoll starting alongside Long this week. Junior Flemings collides hard there. Looked like with Paul Nicholson. Nicholson down now, holding his head. Alan Chapman will come over and have a word to say to Flemings. It looks like no card will be shown. Tyler Adams pushing the ball into the 18. Adams has an opening now. Hildebrand with the initial save. Allen tries to push it in, and a point to the spot. A penalty kick coming here in the opening 10 minutes for New York Red Bull 2. It was Etienne Jr. feeding in Adams. And we'll see where the foul was, whether it was on the initial play or not. Now 3 New York Red Bull, 2 players standing around it. And Alan Chapman will give the signal as he's been listening to his VAR, monitoring the play. I mentioned Soren Stoika. His VAR, all goals or potential goals, all penalties or should be penalties are checked by the video assistant referee. If they believe that there is a need for the head official to then go over and check themselves, they're able to tell them that, and then Alan Chapman has the option to accept whatever he's hearing from his assistant or to go check the video review himself. So it looks like Alan Chapman happy with the call that was made on the field. His VAR telling him that there was not a clear error and the need for a replay. And Brandon Allen will have a chance to step up for his 3rd straight home game to score a penalty kick. A yellow card, it looks like, will be assessed in the end of this play. Alan Chapman's now explaining. And it will be a red card in the end. So Mitch Hildebrandt, in the opening 10 minutes here, has been sent off. He cannot believe it. So Dallas J will now have to come on here. An early substitution for FC Cincinnati. John Harkes will have to decide who he wants to take off to get a goalkeeper in there. Mitch Hildebrandt, who has been, as I mentioned, a rock all season for this FC Cincinnati team, has been sent off here in the opening 10 minutes. Don't forget, Brandon Allen still waiting to take the penalty kick. Dallas J, 23 years old, out of Danville, California. He ended up around FC Cincinnati as a Xavier University graduate, transferring from University of South Florida. He now has to step straight into the Lions Den for his first USL minutes of the season. He's got 7 caps for the Guam national team. But this will be his debut in USL action. And what a way to do it. stepping straight in to a team that will be man down to face off for a penalty shot against one of the leading goal scorers in the USL in Brandon Allen. And another example there, the communication and use of the video assistant refereeing between Alan Chapman and Soren Stoica to finally come to the assessment of a penalty kick and a straight red card. There are 4 situations the video review can be used for a goal or a goal that should have been called, as well as for a penalty kick that should have been given, a red card that has been assessed, straight red card or should have been, as well as mistaken identity and both a yellow or red card situation. So Eric Stevenson, former New York Red Bull draft pick out of Columbus, Ohio, played for New York Red Bulls 3 times in the CCL in 2014. So his afternoon is done, as is Mitch Hildebrandt's, and Dallas J now coming on here to try and play hero for FC Cincinnati. It'll be Brandon Allen to line it up for New York Red Bull 2. He comes in hard and he puts it in the corner. Brandon Allen has been automatic from the spot over the last few weeks. He scored the winner against Louisville City just a week ago from the spot, and he does it again right here for New York Red Bull 2 to take an early lead. Brandon Allen, his 12th goal of the season, moving in to lone possession of 3rd place in the Golden Boot race by Jack McBean and Chandler Hoffman. And now New York Red Bull 2 are on the run. Etienne Jr. now coming in. He's got Nicholson and Berry. Berry able to catch up and save the play. And Austin Berry now trying to outrun Junior Flemings, showing you why he's captain, the veteran. Putting in the effort to recover on that play before New York Red Bull 2 can open this one up, but it's going to be an uphill battle now. FC Cincinnati on the road, man down, trailing 1-0 to New York Red Bull 2. After that Brandon Allen penalty kick, his 12th goal of his rookie year. You'd have to think some space for New York Red Bull 2 to work in now, playing man up. Cincinnati will have to pick and choose their opportunities to press high. At times that's hurt New York Red Bulls 2, as they are a team that like to press high defensively and create turnovers. Brandon Allen now cutting it, trying to get his 2nd early on here. And that ball just deflected as he shot it, and it'll go out for a corner kick. New York Red Bulls 2 have suffered at times. The teams have sat back and not given them easy opportunities on the break. So we'll have to watch and see how this one plays out. Dallas J now commanding his back line. This one goes to the far post. And a free kick called. Dallas J, I mentioned, born in Canada, but with his Guam heritage, been able to appear for that team, a team that for many has been the bright spot in international soccer over the last few years, knocking off India in their World Cup qualifying, country of a couple 100,000, not even 200,000, knocking off a country of 1 billion. One of the upsets. AJ De La Garza and Ryan Guy, other U.S. soccer pyramid players, a part of that national team. Derek Luke will now take the throw in. So an eventful opening, 20 minutes here. As two of the top 3 teams in the Eastern Conference of the USL face off. The only trip of the year to Harrison, New Jersey for FC Cincinnati. And a penalty kick and red card called in the opening 10 minutes, leading to a 1-0 advantage for New York Red Bulls 2 now. Corbin Bone sporting the bleached new haircut. Standing over this one, along with Tyler Polak. This one floated to the far post. Mira out and a clean take from him. Break is on now. Tyler Adams pushing forward. Brandon Allen looking very confident after another goal for him. Lately, they've been coming all from the penalty spot, but any goal scorer will take him as they can. Tim Schmoll will be whistled for the free kick. Sean Coley's been a bright star for John Harkes' team. Former Seattle Sounders and New England Revolution player. 11 goals, 3 assists so far this season. He's been a great point to the attack. Was the lone main striker on this team until Omar Cummings came back for the early part of the season, has linked up well alongside Cummings. And now, once again, will have to do it without his partner. Etienne Jr. takes over that one. Austin Berry just able to get a touch to it. Still for Etienne Jr. And Dallas J makes his first save of the game. The interchange right now between the 3 attacking players and Brandon Allen has been phenomenal. Etienne Jr. doing very well to play off of Allen. We saw earlier a dangerous 1-2 down the left side, and now that dummy to help Etienne Jr. get into the box. Free kick going against the Coley there. So he gives Speedy Williams a bit of a flat tire. Tim Schmoll, 6'6" center back out of Geneva, Switzerland, and Harvard University. Bilyeu goes to the far post. Brandon Allen knocks it down. Gets no power on his attempt. And Mitch Hildebrand able to easily pick up that attempt. The replay here, Bilyeu has been so dangerous with that dipping cross that he whips in from the left side. Keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL and its 29 teams. You can also become a fan of the USL on Facebook for exclusive league news and interactive content. Shot whipped in there from Jimmy McLaughlin, a former Philadelphia Union homegrown signing. Spent time in the USL with Harrisburg City over the last few years. So for confirmation on what went down around the goal and penalty kick for New York Red Bull 2, initially on the field, the assistant referee flagged for offside, negating the foul and then penalty upon official review. The VAR, they saw that that was a clear error. It was communicated to Alan Chapman, the result of the play being the penalty kick and the red card for denial of a goal-scoring opportunity to Mitch Hildebrand. So once again, showing the purpose and use of the video replay. As I mentioned, Alan Chapman spending the first two matches as the VAR, and now his opportunity to get out on the field, call his own show. Walker and Bone trying to find some space. They get to McLaughlin wide. Najem blocks the cross, and it'll go out for a corner kick. These set-piece opportunities are going to be big for FC Cincinnati to try and man down, fight their way into the game. Bone with the whipped-in cross. It's knocked down. Walker trying to keep it alive, and Etienne Jr. gets there first, and a free kick will go in his favor. Kenny Walker, another Ohio native on this team, and Louisville University player. Drafted in 2012 by the LA Galaxy, appeared for that team just over 30 times in his career. Finally winding up with FC Cincinnati this season. He's been a rock in the central midfield alongside Corbin Bone and Paul Nicholson for this team. Cincinnati trying to get numbers behind the ball. Etienne Jr. able to get by Barry. Looks to put the cross in. Speedy Williams cleans it up, and his shot goes up over the crossbar. Derek Etienne Jr. maybe not his brightest match the last two games, but has shown up very strong in the opening 25 minutes here. Taking Austin Barry one-on-one, and that opportunity. Etienne Jr. getting the start down in El Salvador, and CCL play for New York Red Bulls against Allianz just a couple weeks ago. As he continues to grow and become more and more involved with the Major League Soccer side. Fleming's got his 7th goal of the season, the winner against Toronto FC 2. Great work from FC Cincinnati to quickly move that out of some tight space. Tim Schmoll with the slide tackle, gorgeously handled. Now New York will look to go back the other way. Najem slides it to Flemings. Flemings now looking to get into the box. He goes down off the ball, and it'll be a free kick in favor of New York Red Bull 2. Just north of halfway through this opening half. New York Red Bull 2, first place in the Eastern Conference right now. Sitting high above at 53 points on 24 games played. Louisville City FC right now on 50 points, 26 games played. And FC Cincinnati in 3rd place on 43 points, but only 23 games played. If FC Cincinnati was able to find a way to get a victory here, they would most likely be the favorite to still get into touching distance against New York Red Bulls 2, as Louisville City needs help if they're going to be able to catch New York Red Bull 2 in the Eastern Conference. Plenty of fans sticking around here to watch this team. The most successful squad, professional squad, you have to say, in the area this season. An almost historic road record unbelievable goal-scoring form as well. It's Velo and Bilyeu standing over this one. Bilyeu with the dangerous left foot. He bashes it into the wall. Almost gets a second bite at it. And now Akoli will try to push out and counter. Adams there to close it down, and Tyler Adams gets a touch to it. A young homegrown player for New York. Made his MLS debut this year. Tyler Adams, still just 17 years old. Full-time professional soccer player as a homegrown signing for New York Red Bulls. He was the first ever signing for New York Red Bulls 2 last year. Weideman had some options, took his time though, and was forced back to his goalkeeper, Jay. Long will play it back softly to Ryan Mira. Mira here, his 19th appearance. 9 shutouts, I said, for this team as he works his way back from injury, regains his sharpness to what he hopes challenge for the starting role for the Major League Soccer team soon. Najem will whip this cross in. Austin Berry beating Brandon Allen to it. David Najem, more of a midfielder, an attacking player, has been converted to fullback under Coach Wolenek out of necessity. He's handled himself very well so far this season. Signing on in the middle of the summer after spending some time in Germany, coming out of Columbia University. He's a Red Bull Academy player, as is his brother. Currently stars for Akron University, college soccer powerhouse. Junior Fleming's rolling into some space. New York Red Bull 2 midfield has found a lot of very good passing lanes open in front of them, where it doesn't seem like there's that much space. You have to tip your hat to what Coach Wolenek's been able to do. Qualified for the playoffs and got a playoff victory here at home in the first ever year of this franchise, with not much familiarity from anyone of how it would work. A lot of roster movement, a lot of lineup changes. And now this year, first place in the USL. I mentioned that phenomenal road record, and once again, lineup changes and players coming for just 35 minutes at times, and other players having to bounce around and travel to 2 different games, and yet he still has this team in the driver's seat. And most likely, could say playing their best soccer at this point. This ball clipped wide to Flemings. Flemings' initial touch going wide. Trying to cut between the 2 defenders. Clean tackle made by Luke. And now it'll be cleared. Fleming still onside. He's able to earn a corner kick in the end. Fortunate there for New York Red Bull 2. That clearance landing perfectly for Junior Flemings. New York Red Bull 2 going quickly here to Bilyeu. Back to Etienne Jr. Bone with the tackle. It lands at the feet of Velo. Velo clips it to the far post. Nicholson with the diving header. And it lands into the hands of Jay. Velo wide open there on that end line. Opportunity to pick his head up and find a teammate, but could not beat Paul Nicholson with the cross. Both these teams have secured their playoff place already this season. New York Red Bull 2 doing it with a 1-0 win over Louisville last week. FC Cincinnati, after their 1-1 draw with Rochester Rhinos, still had a few results that had to go their way. Those did. So FC Cincinnati's clinched their playoff spot. Richmond Kickers clinched their spot in the Eastern Conference playoffs as well last night with a victory. As the playoff picture comes into view, 8 teams from both conferences qualifying for the playoffs, leading to a higher seed hosting 1-game USL Championship. Rochester Rhinos in extra time beating the LA Galaxy 2 last year. Etienne Jr. is going to be offside on this one. David Goss here on NewYorkRedBull.com and the USL YouTube channel from Red Bull Arena. In the 34th minute of play, New York Red Bull 2. After a penalty kick and a red card to the goalkeeper, Mitch Hildebrandt, Brandon Allen dispatching it and putting his team up 1-0. FC Cincinnati playing man down, trying to find an opening against the run of play for what would be a massive equalizer, especially if they can do it before the start of, or the end of the first half. Acres of space. You can see for Etienne Jr. when he picks up the ball around midfield. FC Cincinnati making no attempt to pressure high outside of Sean Okoli. They'll have to go about 80 minutes with 10 men at the most. Etienne Jr. will spray it wide, but it'll fly over the head of Flemings. And these are those moments I talked about where at times New York Red Bull 2 have struggled when teams are compact. Of course, New York Red Bull 2 have that lead, so at some point FC Cincinnati will have to try and roll the dice and push for a goal. But you wouldn't expect that would be anytime soon, as long as they still have it in touching distance at 1-0 for Coach John Hark's players. Tyler Adams now assessing the scene. Goes wide to Jem. Now we'll switch the field to long. Adams slowly pushing higher and higher up the field. Out wide to Flemings. Through ball towards Etienne Jr. Etienne Jr. is going to get there. And the cross blocked and out for a corner kick off Paul Nicholson's feet. Good patience there from New York. Able to find an opening. Speedy Williams with the shot off the corner kick, and he flashes it well high of the goal. Follow at USL on Twitter to keep up with all the live action during the 2016 USL season. Also, this match and all USL matches are available live, free, and in HD on YouTube. Follow the action on the USL YouTube channel. All postseason games as well can be found there on the USL YouTube channel. Coley able to get by Adams, pushing it wide. Jimmy McLaughlin. He whips the cross in. It's going to land, but into the hands of Ryan Mira. So Mira hasn't had a quiet afternoon. You would maybe expect the man advantage that his team has, this FC Cincinnati team. Plenty of skill and attacking verve left in this side. Adams stepping up, turning it over. Now a chance for FC Cincinnati maybe to break the other way. Coley goes wide to the fullback, Luke. Below does well with his high pressure to force the ball back the other way. Pass too hot for Corbin Bone. And now Velo gets it into the path of Etienne Jr. Etienne Jr. looking to take Barry one-on-one once again, and this time Austin Barry wins the battle. It'll be a corner kick to New York. Nike's a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. Check out at USL Soccer on Instagram to see match highlights and action shots from games around the USL. Etienne Jr. and Florian Velo over in the corner. This ball played into the near post. It's not really touched by anyone. And now McLaughlin with no help around him trying to change the point of play. And he does fantastically to earn a throw-in out at midfield for his team to get a little bit of a breather and push up the field. Of course, 5 substitutions allowed per team in the USL. So John Harkes still plenty of ample opportunity to change up his team coming up in the second half. Goal down and man down after the opening 10 minutes. A penalty kick conceded and a red card to Mitch Hildebrandt. And Brandon Allen getting his 12th goal of the season, slamming that penalty kick into the top left corner. Coley trying to run off the shoulder of Long. He gets called for the foul. Aaron Long made his CCL debut as well in El Salvador with Alianza. Coach Wolonek has called him the most consistent player on this New York Red Bull 2 team. You could see in the last game he came off the bench against Louisville City, the difference in the poise that he brings to this squad. Walker plays that one too far in front of Polak. Now Aaron Long back on the ball around midfield. To the feet of Adams. Pushed wide towards Najem. He gets caught in the tackle and it'll go out off Najem and a throw into FC Cincinnati. New York Red Bulls 2 return home Wednesday, September 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern time to host the Harrisburg City Islanders. Second time this season. Log on to NewYorkRedBulls.com or call 1-877-727-6223. That's 1-877-727-6223. Call today, get your tickets as there are only 2 more home games left. New York Red Bulls 2 travel to Bethlehem for the second time this season. In the next week, they then return home for that match against Harrisburg City. They have 2 more road games and a last home game against FC Montreal. This one too far in front of Velo. Now Junior Flemings with a second look of it, cuts it back. Velo trying to find a teammate. He rolls it down to Flemings, but Flemings is offside. They're on that far side. As I mentioned before, our assistant referee deeming the player offside before the foul on our penalty kick decision. It was then reviewed by Sarin Stoika, our video assistant referee, who felt there was a clear and obvious error. The player was onside. Therefore, the play resulted in a foul in the box and a red card for denial of a goal-scoring opportunity to Mitch Hildebrandt. So for the 3rd straight game, home game, video assistant referee being used here at Red Bull Arena and having a positive impact on the game. These 5 final home games for New York Red Bulls 2. We'll all see VAR usage. Tyler Adams doing a lot of work, pulling the strings for this team as FC Cincinnati sits back in their defensive shell. It's good experience for Adams. Flemings now trying to find an opening seam as he comes in field. Allen looking for Flemings. Nicholson able to get there first. David Najem cleans it up. And his cross goes out for a corner kick. So another set piece opportunity here in the final few minutes of the first half. Of course, I remind you, any time taken to assess or review a play is added into stoppage time, so we expect a few minutes of stoppage time here in the end of the first half. The cross played in, Okoli wins it. It'll pop out to Adams. Adams with the volley, and it's blocked in the box. Williams holding it in from the top of the 18. And the great slide there from McLaughlin puts it off of Florian Velo and out for a goal kick. Dallas J has made one or two big saves since he's come on. As we enter the final minute of regular time here in the first half, as the USL leading New York Red Bulls 2 have a 1-0 lead over FC Cincinnati. Two of the top three teams in the Eastern Conference and the entire league facing off. Red Bull Arena for this one. I don't think it would surprise many if these two teams saw each other in the postseason as well. They've both consistently been top teams in the league. We'll dig into all of the movement and changes in the top of the Western Conference later in the match. As the Eastern Conference gets clearer and clearer in their playoff picture, the Western Conference seems to get more and more congested and exciting as we head down the final stretch. We get official confirmation on 5 minutes of stoppage time. So a minimum of 5 minutes will be added here. Much of that going to the review and penalty kick. Flemings gets taken down at the top of the D. So this will be a big goal-scoring chance here for the New York Red Bulls 2. In stoppage time, it would be a heartbreaking goal to concede for FC Cincinnati to head into the locker room down 2-0 after they've battled so valiantly since going man down. It looks like Etienne Jr., Speedy Williams, and Brandon Allen all standing over this one. Wouldn't be surprised to see Etienne Jr. be the one who hits this. A 5-man wall with the New York Red Bull 2 player tacked on the side. Allen walks over it. Etienne Jr. tries to clip it over the top, and it's blocked by the wall. Justin Bilyeu out of SIU Edwardsville, his first year of professional soccer. He's got himself a few Major League Soccer appearances. Has really been phenomenal at times for the New York Red Bull 2 team. David Najem flashing into the box, and his cross blocked at the near post. A good bit of movement for New York Red Bull 2 to create a half chance in an opening. Are they going to find that second goal here? FC Cincinnati have been structured, worked hard together defensively to keep New York Red Bull 2 from not stretching this lead anymore. 2 minutes into a minimum of 5 minutes of stoppage time. Tyler Adams now, plenty of space afforded to him. It was a good idea from Speedy Williams to try and use the back heel to open up Brandon Allen. Just a little bit too far. Coach Wolenek definitely want to talk to his team a little bit about their movement and the attack. So they're going to have to try and move the ball as quick as possible to find some openings and take advantage of that man down for FC Cincinnati as McLaughlin goes down here in the middle of the box. A great opportunity for FC Cincinnati here in stoppage time. We saw Etienne Jr. put his free kick off the top of the wall. FC Cincinnati do better here. Be big for them to tie this game up and head into the locker room on even footing. Looks like Andrew Weideman standing over this one. Everyone back for New York Red Bull 2 behind the ball. Weideman lines it up, bounces it, and Ryan Mira confidently and safely lets that one bounce past the post. So another set piece opportunity for this 10-man FC Cincinnati team. Will go without a goal. Etienne Jr. has a chance to pick his head up. Shifts it wide to Adams. Now over to the far touchline. David and Jem dropping it back for Schmoll. The Jem again to the feet of Adams. Etienne Jr. with some pressure on him. He's able to keep possession. But a miscommunication between him and the Jem, and it results in the Cincinnati turnover. McLaughlin can't keep possession. It's been tough for this FC Cincinnati team. Every time they turn the ball over, not much help as they move up the field. Velo now making the run in off the wing. And a free kick will go against him. As Alan Chapman looks to his watch. We hit the 5-minute mark here in stoppage time with a minimum of 5 minutes assessed. Dallas J coming off the bench as Mitch Hildebrandt conceded a red card and a penalty kick in the opening 15 minutes of this one. Brandon Allen dispatching it to make it 1-0. 10-man FC Cincinnati holding on for the rest of the first half to hold it at a 1-0 deficit. Well, Ryan Mira, New York Red Bulls soon will look to open up some more space and get some more goals in the second half. And we'll be back in just a few minutes with all that action here on NewYorkRedBulls.com.
The Metro is diverse. We all have different stories, pasts, identities, lives. And that's what defines us. So when something is able to bring everyone together to believe in, It creates a bond that cannot be broken. Together, however different we may be, we have painted the Metro red.
Raise your scarves and welcome your New York Red Bulls!
All of us, the fans, the staff, the players, the fighters, the conductors, the artists, the veterans, and the hungry ones. We all believe in the same team, the same club. And that's what makes this special.
In all these moments, we've always stuck together. We're not looking back now, man.
I am red, czerwony, rojo, rouge, coquinos, vermelho, rot. I am red.
We love, we fight with passion for glory.
New York is most certainly red. I don't think anyone can argue that.
We are red together. Make 2017 red. Renew today.
Played in. Craven goes down. Here's a strike. And is it a goal? It is. And it's Zach Mathers off the bench. Craven was down. Many of the Republic players stopped.
Few chances. Probably gotten a goal or gotten something on target once or twice. Here's Velasco, the dangerous man for the Monarchs. Launches one into the back corner of the net. He got it just over Jakubek, who left his feet, but that was the perfect arcing shot right over the top of the goalkeeper's arms.
For real. See who puts a little bit more height on this one. He does. Right in front of the net. And nails it! How about that shot by Barreal? That's a perfect shot.
That's
for the corner.
one for the highlight reel, Gary. That was just perfect.
67. That's a nice move.
By McLaws, and Fernandez off to Muir. Look out. Muir right out in front.
It's right there.
Doyle pushes it out, and then boom, there it is. And it came right back out and drilled into the right side of the net by Michael Callahan just into the game.
Froze the keeper, and there really was nothing he could do on that, Gary.
Tonight, Monterey, their best player, one of their top scorers. Here's a shot and score! Arizona United shot, score! Cortez, the laser beam.
The free kick for San Antonio. It will be Rafa Castillo from distance, and he scores! A laser beam! And the captain strikes early for a 1-0 lead.
Pure power from the midfielder. He is the leader. We talked about his performance last week. He got on the goal sheet with a penalty.
Ireland's going to fling this one into the area.
Again, going through the ball, bouncing all over the place, and all over the score. Great bit of work, great persistency, and it's Sebastian Dalgard making it 2-0.
Nice to switch field. Headed down as Garcia tries to clear it. It's going to be in the middle of the box. Liam Miller at the shot, and it's in. Oh, goodness, Liam Miller. Heartbreak for OCB as the whistle was seconds away from blowing. And Liam Miller finds the top corner of the net.
Graduated last year, but a turnover here. Kevin Kerr with the left-footed boot into the back of the net. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds have come to Legion Stadium. Just a few minutes here before the halftime break, and another breakdown on the defense leads to a goal.
McLaughlin into the middle. Okoli left for Cummings. Left-footed. There it is. A goal for the Big Cat. Want to finish with his last first.
Stretched out to the middle, back to Green.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.
David Goss back here on NewYorkRedBulls.com as we get ready for the second half of play here at Red Bull Arena. And let's look at the first half highlights. An eventful first half between these two teams. And it all opened up here as Derek Etienne Jr. playing Tyler Adams in, and then Brandon Allen taken down by Mitch Hildebrandt. Initially on the field, Brandon Allen was deemed offside here by the assistant referee. The video assistant referee deemed that there was a clear error. He said to the head official, Alan Chapman, that there should be a review. Alan Chapman took the video assistant referee's word on it, the play resulting in this penalty kick, as well as a red card for Dogso to Mitch Hildebrandt. Brandon Allen slotted it home, his 12th goal of the season. Third straight game here at Red Bull Arena that Brandon Allen has scored a penalty kick. And we are ready for the second half of play here for New York Red Bulls 2. Leading FC Cincinnati 1-0, as well as man up in this one. And you can see there, substitution made coming out of halftime for New York Red Bull 2, the young face of Kevin O'Toole, who will be coming on, looks like in place of David Najem at fullback. Kevin O'Toole, not his first professional soccer experience. He is still just 17 years old, committed to Princeton University out of Montclair, New Jersey. Another part of the prestigious New York Red Bull Academy. Jesse Marsh here after his team got a 1-0 win over the New England Revolution, and John Wolynek currently leading with his side 1-0, as well, as we are still waiting on FC Cincinnati to come out of the locker room. A good first half for New York Red Bull 2, of course, with the lead going man up. Struggled a little bit to break down FC Cincinnati once they took that lead. So you'd have to think that we'll be spending a little of that halftime talking about how they can potentially keep the ball moving faster and find more openings. Ryan Mira looking for what would be his 10th shutout of the season for New York Red Bulls 2. It was a dream first season, you'd have to say, for this franchise, and potential for an even better second season. FC Cincinnati back out on the field now. John Harkes leading this team into his hometown. Kearney, New Jersey native, grew up playing five-a-side on the courts. He said about 200 yards from where we stand right now. Kearney, New Jersey, a hotbed of U.S. soccer historically. John Harkes making his name with the national team and over in England in the Premiership with Sheffield Wednesday. Over 82 appearances, 7 goals. Then time at Derby County, including an FA Cup appearance final at Wembley Stadium. He returned to the U.S. for the start of Major League Soccer, winning 2 MLS Cups with DC United, spending time with the New England Revolution and Columbus Crew. A lot of firsts for him. First American in the Premiership, first American to play in an English final, as well as score at Wembley, and the first ever coach of FC Cincinnati. He's looking to help right this ship, or at least guide it through what will be troubled waters over the last 45 minutes of this one. So correction, it looks like Kevin O'Toole will go in at left back in place of Justin Bilyeu. David Najem right here remains in on the right side. His cross met there by Luke. Wiedemann trying to guide the ball out of bounds. And Alan Chapman saying that it did cross the line. Jesse Marsh, as well as a number of the New York Red Bull first team players, sticking around to watch their compatriots here. It was a nice gesture throughout the club. A t-shirt that said 2 teams, 1 voice. After Conrad Pleva, the all-time leader in minutes for New York Red Bulls 2 and Red Bull Academy player, suffered a stroke after a match for New York Red Bulls 2. Fantastic news coming out this week that he has returned to full training. So not on the game day roster today, but Jesse Marsh saying that he looked very good, very comfortable back in training. He's been able to play. And only a matter of time before he is going to be able to return to doing what he loves most. Great news for everyone around this Red Bull family, and of course the Plevas. The Gem hits that pass quite hard at Adams. He's able to control it. New York pinching very far forward. Speedy Williams basically the deepest player on the field right now, and he's ahead of that midfield circle the entire game in front of New York Red Bulls 2. Nicholson able to cut in front of Flemings there. Below, floats this one in. Jay punches it. And he gets a free kick called in his favor. Dallas Jay coming off the bench for his first ever USL minutes. Not an easy situation to step into. Immediately facing a penalty kick. And then backstopping a team that has to go about 80 minutes of play with 10 men. FC Cincinnati has handled it as well as they could so far throughout the first half. No changes made for John Harkes' side. Coming out of halftime is Sean Ugo Okoli. Down now on the far side. It'll be Kenny Walker to take. Okoli coming back in to be a part of this play. Cincinnati had a few looks like this. They've got to make one count, though, if they want to get a result here at Red Bull Arena to the far side. Nicholson loses out on the header to Tim Schmoll. Not very surprising there. Schmoll's 6'6". Allen chesting it down for Flemings. Flemings' header dangerous to the middle of the field. But Najem's able to intercept this pass. A chance for New York to break maybe the other way, but David Najem's touch too long. And now Cincinnati trying to go back the other way. We saw it in the beginning of the first half, some loose passing from both teams. This ball over the top. Okoli's onside. Okoli to the end line, cuts it back, and Schmoll safely drops it down to the hands of Ryan Mira. Great ball over the top from Jimmy McLaughlin. Sean Okoli couldn't get his touch going in towards goal, forced out to the end line, and then the pass, but he just has not had much help throughout this game, as you'd expect. That clearance bangs off the press box here at Red Bull Arena. David Goss on NewYorkRedBulls.com for the second half of action. Two of the top 3 teams in the Eastern Conference facing off. The USL leading New York Red Bulls 2 at 53 points, welcoming in FC Cincinnati, currently sitting in third place on 43 points, but with a game in hand on New York and 2 games in hand on second place Louisville. Once again on your screen right now, Aaron Long, Tim Schmoll, the two deepest players on the field. Almost the entire game is in the final third for New York Red Bulls too. Can they find any gaps in such a compressed game here? The Gems cross is deflected. Polak heads it away, and now the Gem back safely to Schmoll. This cross again whipped in. Velo trying to chest it down to Flemings. Flemings trying to find some space. Not a lot of room to operate. Speedy Williams with the shot, and Jay makes the save. Not a lot of room to work right now for New York, but some good connections and aggressive play there around the 18, leading to a decent chance for Williams. Williams got his first goal of the season 2 weeks ago in the 5-goal explosion here at Red Bull Arena over Orlando City B. You know Williams, good ability to hit it from distance. He's rattled the crossbar a number of times before finally getting that goal. Harrison Delbridge up off the bench talking to John Harkes right now, getting ready to come on. Delbridge, already 22 appearances this season. But another player who's been suffering some injuries. And Pat McMahon, who's been basically a full-time starter at fullback for John Harkes, also getting his jersey on. Derek Luke, who's in place of McMahon with that cross, and he wins a corner kick. So another set-piece opportunity for Cincinnati. You can't say they haven't had the chances. So now we're waiting for the substitution. Looks like Delbridge will be coming on. Mistaken number there is Ross Tomaselli, who's not in the game, was the one being pulled out, but it will be Paul Nicholson. So Paul Nicholson, his afternoon is done. The Whitehaven, England native. Delbridge, another height option on this corner kick opportunity. McLaughlin will put in the service, the left-footed corner kick. The in-swinger comes in. It's cleared away at the near post. Not good enough service for this FC Cincinnati team on these set pieces. Adams trying to play it into the path of Velo. Over to cover is Polak. And Polak does very well to guide that ball out of bounds right in front of John Wolenek. Bone with the turnover. Etienne Jr. looks up. He's got Brandon Allen, and that's it, making the run. He looks for Allen. It's blocked by Delbridge. Etienne Jr. had one option. He tried to put it right through the needle's eye to the foot of Brandon Allen. Pat McMahon now bringing his paper over to the midfield line. He'll be the third of a possible 5 substitutions for John Harkes. Weideman going down the right side. His cross blocked. And Aaron Long spraying it up the right side. The gem to Velo. Velo has looked maybe the most dangerous New York player when he gets into open space running like that. Miscommunication between Etienne Jr. and Velo. Turning it over to Jay. Keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL and its 29 teams. Flemings and Etienne and Velo all trying to link up to create that second goal. Velo's cross goes over everyone. Weideman will let it roll out of bounds. Now Pat McMahon will come on in place of Jimmy Laughlin. Pat McCann and Harrison Delbridge, two defenders coming on. You'd expect to see one of the fullbacks move to the outside midfield position. It looks like that will be Derek Luke. So McMahon returning to his natural right back spot. McMahon immediately making an impact with that tackle. In the first matchup, it was a McLaughlin goal. Justin Billieu with the equalizer and Velo with the winner. Not the assist by Etienne, so Billieu and McLaughlin both out. Etienne and Velo still on the field. It looks like New York's going to make a change of themselves. Dan Metzger, Red Bull Academy player and draft pick by DC United, getting ready to come on. He's recovered from that ACL surgery and playing the best soccer of his career. As Aaron Long takes a distance shot. About 40 yards away there for Aaron Long, but he saw the seas part. Gave it a decent look. It was low and on frame at the least. Schmoll and Long getting a lot of time on the ball as the New York Red Bull 2 midfielders try and drop deep and help create the attack. Speedy Williams misunderstanding the intention there from Junior Flemings. McMahon's touch is long, but he's able to push through and at least force possession. Good work from Weideman. Walker with the clearance. Can Okoli beat Schmoll to this one? But Ryan Mira gets out, and he's able to bail out his center back. Sean Okoli living on scraps up top. But there's a reason he's got 11 goals. He's got that ability to make something happen out of nowhere. Flemings goes by McMahon, who just came on the field. Pat McMahon forced the pull down Flemings, and he picks up a yellow card. About 5 minutes of action from Pat McMahon, and now he's got to face off against the dangerous attackers of this New York Red Bull 2 team, sitting on a yellow card, halfway towards a potential two-man disadvantage. So Tyler Adams' afternoon is done. Tyler Adams still just 17 years old in his 14th appearance for New York Red Bull 2 this season, over 1,000 minutes of play. What an opportunity this has been for this young player to get this many high-level professional soccer minutes at such a young age, something that wasn't even possible for a lot of young players like John Wolyniec and John Harkes just 10, 15 years ago here in the U.S. Etienne Jr. to take this free kick. It's headed away at the near side by Walker. O'Toole goes wide to Etienne Jr. Trying to get around Weideman, and it rolls out of bounds. And Dallas J will restart play for us. New York Red Bulls sitting in first place in their CCL group as well right now, with Antigua of Guatemala and Alianza of El Salvador. Potential time there for some of these players to get some international experience for New York Red Bull 2. They had Zach Carroll, Zumana Simpara, Florian Velo, Stefano Bonomo, Vincent Bezecourt, Derek Etienne Jr., and Junior Flemings all make their first team debut against Club America this summer here at Red Bull Arena. We know all about Tyler Adams and his debut against Chelsea last summer here at RBA. Maybe a few more names to add to that list. Speedy Williams lining up the shot. He goes well over the goal and wide of the mark. Bezecourt, Bonomo, Simpara, and Carroll warming up over there on the end line. We have about a half hour left here in this one. New York Red Bull 2 leading 1-0. The penalty kick goal by Brandon Allen, his 12th of the season, as he sticks his name into the Golden Boot conversation in the USL. Most likely no one going to set any records like Matthew Fondy and Danny Koenig did last year. But Chandler Hoffman has been phenomenal. Jack McBean looked like he may be able to challenge there as the Gems cross goes over the top of the crossbar. But McBean now signing with the LA Galaxy first team and then being sent to Coventry City in England on loan. So he will no longer be able to add to his still first place tally of 15 goals. Okoli doing great work there, beating two defenders. Gets it wide. Wiedemann with the cross. It's clipped. He's got a hand up appealing for a penalty kick. Alan Chapman waves that one off. Now another cross played in. Okoli gets a touch, but it's not enough. And Ryan Meara fortunate there. That ball landing right in his hands. The best chance of the second half for FC Cincinnati to try and tie it up there. Now New York flowing back the other way. What great work from Okoli to start that attack. Battling through three defenders just to maintain possession. Doing exactly what a lone forward needs to do in a game where his team is forced to defend with numbers. Layoff there from Etienne Jr. to Allen, and Brandon Allen's left-footed toe poke just wide of the far post. Exquisite touch from Etienne Jr. And a creative idea from a true finisher in Brandon Allen. Couldn't get a lot of power on it. Looked to redirect it into that far post. Using the outside of that left foot. Brandon Allen, the younger brother of NYCFC starting fullback RJ Allen. Monmouth, New Jersey natives. You see there those yellow cones, that is the review area for the head official if his VAR tells him that he believes a review, on-field review, is necessary. We've had one review in this match. An on-field review was not necessary as the VAR, Soren Stoica, communicating to Alan Chapman that the player was not offside in the run-up to the foul by Mitch Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt now sitting in the locker room, so he can only watch. So picking up that early red card. Dallas J hasn't put a foot wrong so far, but the man disadvantage has heavily affected this game. Substitution coming here for New York. Junior Flemings. His afternoon is done, so his goal scoring streak won't continue. He'll be broken after the last two games that he put up goals. And on comes Stefano Bonomo. Become a fan of the USL on Facebook for exclusive league news and interactive content. You can also follow at USL on Twitter to keep up with all of the live action during the 2016 USL season. Junior Fleming's been one of the brightest full-time USL roster players for New York Red Bulls too this season. Maybe not his simplest game, but he still was a factor. Player much more adept in open space. In a game like this, the entire time the two teams are compressed in tight space. The Gem looks like he's getting more and more comfortable at fullback. Speedy Williams now has space. He's got Florian Velo wide open down the right side if he can find him. Puts it on the feet of Etienne. Now Velo one-on-one with Polak. That's it back to Williams. Williams looking for the long cross. Kenny Walker reads it perfectly and blocks it. O'Toole's had a steady first 20-so minutes of action off the bench for the young academy player. The Gem's got room to cross. Tyler Polak able to recover very well there and block that cross. Polak, the Lincoln, Nebraska native out of Creighton University, was a Generation Adidas signing in 2012. Spent time with the New England Revolution, Rochester Rhinos on loan during that time, before finally ending up at Minnesota and now here in Cincinnati. Williams, the one-touch pass to O'Toole. O'Toole looks to get to the end line. He cuts it back. Bonomo now. The Cal man turns and shoots, and his shot blocked. It'll go wide for a corner kick to New York. Stefano Bonomo making himself an impact off the bench. Etienne Jr. with the cross. Jay makes the save. Contact between him and Bonomo, and Dallas Jay now down. It looks okay to continue. Delbridge, the Sydney, Australia native, on the ball now. He goes by Velo. Clean footwork from the center back, but then turns it over on the pass. Williams pushing into space. Wide to Allen. Back to Metzger. Wide to Najem coming up from the right back spot. Najem plays the cross and it's headed away. Now New York Red Bull 2 trying to turn back into the attack, and it'll roll out for a goal kick. You can hear the South Ward back behind the goal. Getting a treat with a doubleheader here today. Two teams currently in the race for their regular season championships. New York Red Bulls making a move up the Eastern Conference table with their victory over the New England Revolution, and New York Red Bulls 2 trying to maintain first place in the USL regular season table. Nike's a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. Okoli goes down and he's able to earn a free kick. Another good bit of play from Sean Okoli, as it has not been an easy evening for him. So it looks like David Najem's Game will be played as Noah Powder comes on the field. Powder, another Academy player. Trinidad and Tobago U17 and U20 international. Played in U17 CONCACAF qualifying with Trinidad and Tobago and has spent part of this summer in the U20 camp. Started the first 6 games in a row for New York Red Bulls too before leaving for international duty and Development Academy playoffs, and finally returning just a couple weeks ago to New York Red Bull 2 action. Aaron Long's trying to handle that header. He puts it out of bounds for a Cincinnati throw-in. Just north of 70 minutes played here in Red Bull Arena so far. New York Red Bull 2 leading 1-0 over FC Cincinnati. Penalty kick goal from Brandon Allen. Foul and red card going against Mitch Hildebrandt in the opening 15 minutes. And that has been the difference so far in this one. Pat McMahon plays that one out over the end line. Williams wide to Schmoll. Schmoll down the line. Noah Powder gets his first touch. Powder finds the feet of Etienne Jr. Etienne goes wide to Velo. Velo curls it to the far post. Brandon Allen peeling away. Pat McMahon is able to at least push it out for a corner kick. New York Red Bull 2 will take their time setting this one up. 20 minutes left. FC Cincinnati only trailing 1-0, able to hold on so far pretty comfortably here in the second half. They'll have to roll their dice soon. Losing 1-0 doesn't do them any favors. At some point, you'd expect they'll take a little bit of a risk. This one played to the far side. Aaron Long losing out on the header to Delbridge. Williams trying to keep the ball moving. Now it's Powder's turn. His cross low and knocked down. O'Toole pushing forward. Austin Berry wins that tackle, and now Wiedemann on the far side. McMahon will clear it up the line. FC Cincinnati in their first year as a professional soccer franchise. Coming here for the only time to Red Bull Arena. Noah Powder's shot goes wide. They've played in front of sold-out crowds, 35,000 plus at Nippert Stadium, averaging just south of 17,000 a game. They faced off against Premier League opposition in Crystal Palace earlier this summer, as well as beginning what has been already an exciting rivalry against Louisville City. Just across the river, the yellow card going to Aaron Long. FC Cincinnati, one of the teams in the rumored conversation about potential Major League Soccer expansion. They are going to be a big part of the conversation this year when you talk about USL Championship contenders. They have the potential, along with a few other teams, to head to a title game. Sacramento Republic FC right now in first place in the Western Conference, but only 2 points up on Rio Grande Valley, who have a game in hand. It's a congested table out in the Western Conference. This one goes out for a corner kick between OKC Energy and Sacramento Republic. Only 4 points difference, with OKC Energy having a 2 games in hand on Sacramento, and in between 5 more teams. So 7 teams in the conversation right now for first place in the Western Conference. In the East, The ball is in the New York Red Bulls 2 court. They're looking to hang on to a 1-0 lead here, but can Corbin Bone and FC Cincinnati shake things up? The cross played in. It's headed away at the near post by New York. Etienne Jr. now in a battle with Walker. Walker able to win possession and send it back to Jay. John Harkes with the opportunity to coach back in his native New Jersey for the first time ever as a full-time head coach. Game plan took a hit in the opening 10 minutes with the loss of his goalkeeper. Jay has played well in his place. But the man advantage has been a huge factor in this game. McCauley goes to the far side. Onside is Wiedemann. Nope. The assistant referee's flag finally goes up. McCauley and his few opportunities has shown why he's been such a huge signing for this NYRB2 team. Metzger sprays it wide. Powder comes forward and meets no resistance until he gets about 20 yards away. That's where Cincinnati's marshaled the troops. Speedy Williams to the feet of Etienne. Now Velo making the run. He gets the cross away. It's beat at the near post. Powder can't get his touch clean, and Speedy Williams' shot will spray wide. One of the better looks of the second half for New York Red Bulls too. Velo, space and running at speed to curl that ball in. But FC Cincinnati once again standing strong in their own box. So the lone goal scorer will come out now. Brandon Allen, his 12th goal of the season, leading the team, third in all of USL. He'll be replaced by Vincent Bezecourt. Bezecourt, like Velo, out of France. Played his college soccer at St. Francis, just across the river in Brooklyn. Across two rivers, technically. Powder to Williams. Williams to Long. Long wide to O'Toole. Almost like a training ground exercise at times for New York. They have not been able to slice open this defense here in the second half. Etienne Jr. beats one. His pass intercepted. Now Okoli gets by Schmoll. Great footwork from Sean Okoli. He's able to keep possession and get it to Pollock. Powder's got space on the right wing. Time and time again here for New York Red Bulls too. They've had space and time in the final third. Can they finally make it count? Velo's cross is blocked and it goes out for another throw-in. FC Cincinnati, this wasn't the game they wanted to play. Script hasn't worked its way out, but they've acquitted themselves very well here for the opening 80 minutes. 10 more minutes, can they find what you'd have to say would be a deserved equalizer? Williams to Bezecourt, and his header softly floats wide of the goal. You can watch all USL matches live free and in HD on YouTube. Follow the action on the USL YouTube channel. You can also check out USL Soccer on Instagram to see match highlights and action shots from games around the USL. I mentioned it, New York Red Bull 2, only 2 more home games in a week and a half. On Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time here at Red Bull Arena. They host the Harrisburg City Islanders, who took the Keystone Cup last night in their 1-1 draw with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. New York Red Bulls too also still to face FC Montreal. Montreal, one of 3 Canadian teams in the USL, Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2. Out in the Western Conference, the most successful of them. Currently sitting in 3rd place, but just 3 points back of first place Sacramento Republic FC, who they played to a draw on the road in front of a sold-out Bonnie Field last night. Metzger to Etienne Jr. McMahon pushing up to face off against Etienne Jr. Now the switch of the field to Powder. Powder one-on-one with Polak. Powder looking to line up Polak. Gets to the feet of Williams. Williams with the quick shot from inside the 18. Handled simply by Jay. Speedy Williams just has not been able to get a good shot off. He's had 1 or 2 chances blocked. A few chances where he had some time high and wide of the goal. Bonomo putting on some high pressure. He was an impact sub in the opening few minutes coming off the bench. Hasn't been able to do much since. Kenny Walker now has to get himself back in a position, although he came off the field, stomped on the cement a little bit, and then gave a sign over to John Harkes. Hopefully not an injury for him. Bezecourt is able to turn in the box. And Austin Berry over to clean up behind Delbridge, and Kenny Walker is down on the field. And that's unfortunate to see. He's had a very good game. Struggling with a few injuries over the past month or so. It looks like John Harkes already ready to replace him. Ross Tomaselli, former All-American from Wake Forest. It looks like will be the man to come on. Kenny Walker will soldier through until the substitution. Bezecourt plays the cross in. It's headed away by Okoli. New York Red Bull 2 will try and quickly restart. Flicked on by Long, on frame, but taken simply by Dallas J. Xavier University alumni Dallas J. Sticking in Cincinnati, and he's had a very good debut. He's kept his team organized. He's made every save that's been asked of him. No spills or rebounds to give any second chances to New York. Mentioned New York Red Bulls too. Just 2 more home games this season here at Red Bull Arena. As Bezecourt tries to get to the end line. Walker makes the tackle. And then a handball called against Kevin O'Toole. Next year, they'll be playing their home games at Pitzer Soccer Complex, at Montclair State University, as well as the U23 PDL squad, and potentially some U.S. Open Cup New York Red Bull action as well, as now Kenny Walker's finally able to come off for Tomaselli. Good afternoon, good evening for the former high school Gatorade Player of the Year, Kenny Walker. Hopefully it's just a small injury scare. Nothing too serious as Tomaselli comes on. You'll recognize Tomaselli from his play here last year with the Wilmington Hammerheads. The next home match, Wednesday, September 7th, 7 p.m., Harrisburg City Islanders. Cardell Benbow coming in to play New York Red Bulls 2. Go to NewYorkRedBulls.com for tickets or call 1-877-727-6223. It's 1-877-727-6223 today. New York Red Bulls 2. Right now on their way to what would be a third consecutive 1-0 victory in USL action, as well as a fifth consecutive win overall. Also would be the second 1-0 win here at Red Bull Arena of the day for this franchise, as New York Red Bulls beat the New England Revolution 1-0 in MLS play just a few hours ago. Of course, New York Red Bulls 2 wouldn't be too unhappy to break those streaks and make it 2-0. Great work from Polak to get back and clear that one away. A sub coming here. Last one of the game, Luke Spencer, Xavier University forward. Looks like he's coming on in place of Derek Luke. Luke Spencer, a great story. Cincinnati, Ohio native. Played at Xavier University, helped turn around that program. Was the first player ever drafted at Xavier University, New England Revolution. He then stopped his playing career, went back, became an assistant coach at Xavier before FC Cincinnati formed, and he made the team in the tryout. Bezecourt with the shot. Jay pushes it wide. Bonomo cleaning it up on the far side of the box. Gets it to Williams. Williams looking to switch the field. Polak with the interception and the clearance, but only as far as Metzger. Florian Velo looking for a teammate. Turns it over to Tomaselli. And now Spencer just off the bench with some fresh legs. He's looking to put some pressure on up top. O'Toole now. He gets by McMahon. Back to Williams. Williams turns. Pushes it wide to Velo. Velo whips the cross into the far post. McMahon chests it down. Straight to the feet of Etienne. Etienne in towards Bonomo. Bezecourt with the rebound, and his shot is blocked. Vincent Bezecourt has brought some cutting edge to this game off the bench. St. Francis Brooklyn alum. It'll be Bezecourt to take the corner kick, the left foot to the far post. Okoli, I think's made every defensive header off a corner kick this game. And a second penalty of the game coming. Alan Chapman reaching in. He'll show a yellow card this time. And it looks like Derek Etienne Jr. was the one to draw the foul. No Brandon Allen on the field, so someone else will have to take it. And that's unfortunate. I think Sean Okoli's been the best player on the field in very limited play, and he's frustrated, and clearly frustrated with the call, but has to be frustrated with the afternoon he's had. He has had very few chances to get on the ball, and he's done everything he could with the ones he's had. And of course, as all plays, but especially any goal, potential goal, penalty kick, potential penalty kick, or straight red card, this play is being checked by the video assistant referee. Sorry, Stoika. We will play on. There's no clear error seen. Etienne Jr. now his chance to match Brandon Allen. The slow run up, and he's able to slot it home and make it 2-0. And a little bit of Greisman on the side. Derek Etienne Jr. And it looks like he's going to seal this one for New York Red Bulls 2. As we enter stoppage time here, Derek Etienne Jr., plenty to celebrate for him. Another strong performance here with New York Red Bulls 2. And on top of that, he gets his third goal of the season. You see the foul there. Tough to see from this angle. And Etienne Jr. slots it in. And I remind you, the video assistant referee only has the same camera angles that we have. The only camera angles available are the broadcast camera angles, 6 cameras here at this stadium. And so whatever it is that we're seeing is what they're seeing. No angle gave a judgment that there was a clear error and a necessary potential review. And Derek Etienne Jr. gets his third goal of the season. 2 goals on 2 penalty kicks for New York Red Bulls too. And it looks like they're gonna hang on to this one. They're gonna move to 6 points up in the Eastern Conference on 53 points with a game in hand still against Louisville City. That puts them 13 points ahead of FC Cincinnati in third place. New York Red Bulls too. And this is going to be a poor ending for New York Red Bulls too after what has been a clean game. Noah Powder, he'll see a red card for the studs up tackle. And the young 17-year-old with the rash challenge. And now he will head to the showers early along with Mitch Hildebrandt. It was an opening 10-minute foul by Hildebrandt to concede a penalty kick and go man down for FC Cincinnati. Brandon Allen dispatched that one. FC Cincinnati battled strong since then, you have to say. Not giving up a lot of clear-cut chances while playing man down for almost 80 minutes of play before Sean Okoli was whistled for. The most current penalty kick. Derek Etienne Jr. putting it in. And now Noah Powder's shown a straight red card for the studs up scissor tackle. A tough lesson for that young man, as this game was locked up and sealed for New York. We are 2.5 minutes into a minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time. The 1 goal, and Coach Wolenek, it's not an ideal performance. Man up for 80 minutes, only getting 1 penalty kick goal after that. But it's another victory as this team went from the 2-game, 5-goal explosion to now 3 straight shutouts. 2 1-0 grinded out wins. And it looks like it's going to be a 2-0 victory over FC Cincinnati to stretch their lead on the top of the Eastern Conference to a commanding 6 points with 1 game to play. Etienne Jr. now on the far side. Can he make it 2 for himself? Bezecourt's shot is blocked. And the ball will run long. And it looks like an offside from our assistant referee. Communicated to Alan Chapman, and that might be it for this one. New York Red Bulls 2, another victory, 5 straight for them. John Wolenek and John Harkes, 2 New York, New Jersey area soccer legends, and most likely 2 coaches who will be making deep playoff runs, sitting high atop in the Eastern Conference so far this season. Ryan Mira, 10th shutout of the season for him, as he wears the captain's armband once again. And let's look at the highlights. New York Red Bulls too, it wasn't the prettiest for them. Tyler Adams, Derek Etienne Jr. linking up before Brandon Allen gets taken down for a penalty kick here early in the first half. Was initially called offside. Upon further review by the video assistant referee, Soren Stoichkov, it was deemed that it was not offside. The results of the play: a foul by Mitch Hildebrandt in the box, a red card, and a dog-so, and a penalty kick. Brandon Allen facing off against the substitute Dallas J, and he slots it home for his 12th goal of the season. And then it took almost till the last minute of the game. Derek Etienne Jr., he draws the foul. Sean Okoli sort of see that right foot raised a little bit to trip him. Etienne Jr. calmly and slowly steps up with the stutter step and slots it into the far corner. Dallas J guesses the right way but can't make the save. The New York Red Bulls 2 have a 5th consecutive win. Next home game Wednesday, September 7th, 7 p.m. here at Red Bull Arena. You can watch on NewYorkRedBulls.com or come on out and see the #1 team in the USL face off against Harrisburg City. Thank you so much for joining us here on NewYorkRedBulls.com. For Paul Hawkins and everyone else in this phenomenal crew working a doubleheader this afternoon, we thank you so much and have a great night.